So yes, that sort of first inflection point and mentor in my life was Sir Peter Blake, which was one of the reasons I went on to do a sustainable design project. The other mentor that I definitely cite is about 5 years ago, I had the good fortune to be invited by one of my mentors to their private island in the Caribbean. And it was during this stay when I was in the Caribbean that they encouraged me to write my own eulogy. And it's quite a morbid process and quite emotional process, but one that I've certainly realized the importance of and encourage others to do so if they haven't already. And it was in that process, we were discussing it with my mentor, and they said, so what do you want to achieve by the time you're 100 years old? What do you want to do, therefore, in the next 20 years, the next 10 years, 6 months, and tomorrow, in order to achieve that end objective to be what you want to be remembered for? And so for me, for Alistair, that whole eulogy has boiled down to one word. And so since the sort of last 5 years or so, I put a lot of energy into that one word, which is philanthropy. And so what's been really rewarding is now, again, through being mentored, how do I connect my world of the super yacht industry, 20 years of trusted relationships with yacht owners, charter vacation clients, and those that enjoy yachting, ultimately the high net worth individual. But then how do I connect them to my passion, my why in life, which is philanthropy? And so we sat down and we chatted and we realized, well, why don't you combine the two? And so it's been such a rewarding process where now I'm able to host some of my clients and others in my network, whether it's on board a yacht or at St. James's Palace in London in aid of the Queen's Commonwealth Trust, or for lunch at the United Nations as part of my work as a United Nations Foundation advisor, and various other charities and causes, whether it's anti-human trafficking, ocean conservation, and all these other important issues around the world. And it's just a moment for me where I realized I could combine my career that I've enjoyed immensely, but also join the dots, if you like, to my real passion in life, which is philanthropy. So that's been a really rewarding process, and a milestone for me was indeed that moment when I was able to write my own eulogy.
So before we get to your third inflection point, let me just kind of reflect what you're saying. Then you have this mentor, and you go to this private retreat, and the mentor says, "Well, look, reflect what your life is going to be when you're 100 years old." And then, like you said, it's a eulogy. How are you going to be remembered, basically, right? And then you wanted philanthropy as being a big part of that, right? And then break that down and what are you going to do every day, every week, every 6 months, every year to ultimately lead to that goal. It's kind of like this idea of framing. There's this kind of principle of framing where you frame different elements of your life to reach this end goal. And because I used to teach logic when I was younger, I used to teach mathematics and logic and computing, plus I taught business at the same time. There's a concept called stepwise refinement. So if you have a big problem, you break it up into these little micro steps to achieve that end goal. But in essence, that's what you're doing through framing, or that's what you're doing by writing the eulogy and looking back. You're breaking it down to what are the kind of the stepwise moments in your life that can ultimately achieve how you're going to be remembered. So I think that's pretty profound. It's a great lesson and a message for the audience.